The quietest person in the room usually gets labeled fast. Some people think they must be a genius. Others assume something is wrong. A few even wonder if there is nothing happening inside at all. Let us find out which one you might be. You know exactly who I am talking about. The person who can sit through an entire dinner party and maybe say 2 or 3 sentences. While everyone else talks non-stop about weekend plans, that person stays silent, watching, listening, taking mental notes, maybe quietly judging, maybe imagining dramatic scenarios, or maybe they simply do not feel the urge to speak. But here is what most people never realize. Silence is not one simple trait. There are actually 5 different psychological types of quiet people, and some of them are far more calculated than they appear. The first type is the social chameleon. This person has mastered the skill of appearing fully engaged while mentally staying on the sidelines. They nod at the perfect moments. They add a quick "yeah" or "exactly," just enough to keep things moving. Somehow you walk away feeling understood, even though they barely said anything. It is a subtle form of conversational control. Whenever the focus shifts toward them, they smoothly redirect it back to you. So what do you think? Just like that, the pressure disappears. These people are not quiet because they are insecure. They are quiet because they are intentional. They understand that listening builds trust faster than talking ever could. They are observing patterns, reading the room, and collecting information. In many cases, they end up knowing more about you than you know about them. Here is the surprising part. Research shows that people who speak less in group settings are often seen as more capable and more trustworthy, even when they add very little. The social chameleon takes advantage of this perception. Their silence becomes a blank space where others project intelligence and depth. Without proving anything, they are assumed to be impressive. What rarely gets mentioned is that these people think in terms of emotional value. They know that influence grows through restraint. While everyone else competes for attention, they sit back and let others reveal their insecurities. Over time, they quietly become the person everyone trusts. They understand that the less they reveal, the more mysterious they seem. And mystery carries power. It is subtle, but it is effective. They are not quiet because they are losing. They are quiet because they are ahead. Now let us move on to the next type, the verbal minimalist. This person treats words like a limited resource. They do not spend them on gossip, small talk, or meaningless updates, but mention philosophy, space, human behavior, or a controversial opinion, and suddenly they come alive. Psychologists refer to this as selective engagement. These people are not antisocial. They are anti-superficial. Their mind naturally filters out conversations that feel empty. Studies suggest they often have strong analytical thinking and high emotional intelligence. They do not speak just to fill silence. They speak when there is something worth saying. Their inner world is usually rich and active. They are constantly connecting ideas and forming conclusions. When they finally talk, it is because they already worked through the problem internally. The irony is that many people mistake their quiet nature for arrogance or boredom. In reality, they are simply tuned to a different frequency. They are waiting for conversations that add value, not ones that just pass time. They have learned that many interactions drain energy instead of giving it back. So they become selective about where they invest their attention. Think of them as conversational minimalists. They avoid junk dialogue and stick to meaningful exchanges, which makes them mentally healthier, but not always popular at parties. If they choose to talk with you often, it means you matter to them. If they do not, the conversation probably lacks substance. Now let us talk about the third type, the overthinking introvert. This one feels different. These people want to speak. They genuinely want to join in and be part of the conversation. But their mind gets in the way. By the time they rehearse what to say, imagine how everyone might react, refine their wording, and assess the social risk. The moment has already passed, so they stay silent. Their quiet is not caused by having nothing to say. It comes from having too much to say and not being able to choose which thought to release. It is not that they have nothing to say. It is the complete opposite. Their mind is overflowing with thoughts, and they cannot decide which one deserves to go first. From a psychological standpoint, this is a clear case of analysis paralysis. Their inner dialogue is so loud it drowns out everything happening around them. They are not tuning you out. They are stuck inside their own thoughts. And here is the hard truth. These people often hold some of the sharpest and most original insights in the room, but their perfectionism silences them before a single word escapes. They would rather stay quiet than say something that feels unfinished. As a result, the rest of us miss out on their perspective because they are constantly editing themselves in real time. That level of mental effort is exhausting. If you know someone like this, be patient with them. Give them space. Give them time. Their silence is not rejection. It is congestion. Now let us move on to the fourth type, and this is where things get intense. The quiet manipulator. This person does not speak often, but when they do, every word is intentional. They have been watching closely. They have been waiting. And when the moment arrives, they know exactly what to say to get the outcome they want. For them, silence is a tool. Have you ever been in a disagreement where the other person suddenly stops talking and just looks at you? That is not confusion. That is pressure. Research on high-stakes negotiations shows that silence creates discomfort. That discomfort pushes people to talk more, reveal more, and give up more than they planned. These individuals do not raise their voice because they do not need to. They understand the power of presence. This same technique is used by professional interrogators. They go quiet and allow the other person to fill the space, often with information they never intended to share. The quiet manipulator applies this in everyday life. Instead of solving crimes, they secure promotions, win arguments, and guide conversations so smoothly that you believe the idea was yours. They let you pour your assumptions, doubts, and mistakes into their silence. Then they respond. You can respect the skill, but you should be careful about trusting them too much. And finally, we arrive at the fifth type, the enlightened observer. This one is rare. They are not quiet because of fear, calculation, or overthinking. They are quiet because they no longer need constant validation. They do not feel the need to prove they are smart, funny, or interesting. They are fully present as they are. Psychologically, this happens when emotional stability meets a secure sense of self. They are comfortable with silence because they are comfortable with themselves. And when they speak, people naturally pay attention, not because they demand it, but because their words carry weight. What truly sets them apart is the inner work they have done. They have faced their struggles, processed their past, and reached a place of real peace. There is no inner chaos they need to drown out with noise. Their silence is not a tactic or a shield. It reflects clarity, a calm, grounded presence that makes everyone else seem restless by comparison. If you meet someone like this, value them. They are rare, and they are often the healthiest person in the room. So the next time you meet someone who speaks very little, do not rush to label them as shy, rude, or boring. They may be studying you closely, protecting their energy, or simply operating on a different frequency. Silence is not empty. It is filled with things most people never notice because they talk too much. So which type are you? Leave a comment. And if you think there is another type missing, share it. I am paying attention. You know what I mean. Subscribe if this made your mind feel sharper. We go deep like this every week. Like the video so it actually gets shown. Stay curious, stay quiet, or do not. You are free.